Sports and TreasureStateRadio.com. So there you go. Divisionals continuing all across the state this week. Double A wrapping up its regular season. In fact, Hellgate wrapped up its regular season last night, and the Hellgate boys 18-0 on the year. Is anybody going to beat them? And that includes divisionals, which are next week in Missoula at Sentinel High, and then also state tournament. Can anyone knock off the Hellgate boys? So that's a big question. So keep that in your back pocket if you're thinking about what's going on. We also got On This Day in History coming up, and the walk-off, and a whole lot more. Oh, we mentioned Shan Furge coming up in about 15 minutes. Bar Rescue's John Taffer will join us. That's right. The big man himself will join us via the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And new season of Bar Rescue is coming out on Sunday on Paramount Network at, 10 Eastern, so it's at 8 Mountain Time. And we're going to talk to John Taffer about that. Got a preview of the show of one of the episodes this year featuring Marshawn Lynch. And we'll show that here in a little bit as well. But I want to begin with the Frontier stuff from last night. Good basketball games all across the Frontier. You had the Tech men and women splitting at Western. The Tech men won, Western women won. Batavia Rooney, freshman of the year, hello? She's so good, the Townsend product. And there's going to be some teams that are bummed they missed out on her because she is she's really good. She had a double-double in the first half last night. And despite the loss, she's still really good. But Savannah Bignell had a nice night for the defending national champs. We'll get back to them in a second. Carroll men and women getting a sweep. They knocked off the women and men, beat Providence. Both. And Danny Wagner had a big game for the Saints women and got the big win. The Saints gave up 20 points to Jackson Hashley on the men's side, but they held Zacchaeus Darko Kelly to 19 points and 9 rebounds. He did not have a double-double. He did not have a triple-double. And his first he had 19 points and 9 rebounds, and we're going to call it a subpar game for the first time in a month because he didn't have 40. He didn't get a triple-double. But he's still so good that 19 and 9 feels like a subpar game. And it's not. He had a fantastic night. Just ended up losing. So the Saints men clinch the conference number 2 seed, and they will host until the championships, which would be at LC State, because LC State men won at Rocky last night to secure the number 1 seed. LC at Western men and women on Saturday. The women's game is going to be big. And again, we'll get back to Western here in a second. Rocky men losing, I think that's 16 consecutive conference games now. Or 15, something like that. And then the Rocky women, I believe, beat LC women last night. And that would be called research, Jason. I actually did research it. And the Rocky women got the win over the LC women. It's a little bit of an upset. So Carroll and Western women now tied at 12-5 with 1 game remaining each. Western owns the season series, 2-1. The winner of the Conference 1 seed will host the conference championship. Last year, it was at Western. Carroll went down and won the title game. They're both 12-5. Carroll hosts Northern tonight. Northern 4-12 is really struggling. Lots of injuries for Chris Mowat and his squad again this year, which is like 4 years in a row now. Haley Nicholson, Tara Gillum, all injured. So Carroll hosting Northern tonight. You figure Carroll's going to win. Although Northern did get Carroll a few weeks ago at the Armory in Havre. But Carroll should win tonight at home at senior night. Western then will play LC women Saturday night at Dillon at Straw Gymnasium. Now, if LC knocks off Western, Carroll will win the 1 seed. If both and that depends on if Carroll wins tonight. Carroll has to win tonight for any of this to matter. But it's going to be interesting tonight and tomorrow, the final 2 games of the regular season in the Frontier Conference, both the men and the women. Now, the 1 seed is locked up, and the 2 seed on the men's side, and the 3 seed. It's LC, Carroll, then Providence. And then the 4 seed looks like it'll be Tech. Northern men play at Carroll tonight. That's a big game. And Northern could sneak in. They have to win. You heard Coach Steve Keller from Providence talk about it yesterday here on the Jason Walker Show. Northern or Tech, would have to win a couple of games probably in the conference tournament to get to the national tournament in Kansas City. But if Northern upsets Carroll tonight and then were to upset Providence tomorrow night in Great Falls, they would get the 4 seed and host the first round, and then that would be Tech, and then they'd have to go out to LC in that second game, semifinals. But it's possible that Northern, if they were to win out this weekend and maybe get that first win in the conference tournament Tuesday night, could win or get into the national tournament. It's still a possibility. Tech, not sure. Not sure if they have enough on their resume to get there. Tech will play Rocky to wrap up the season tomorrow night. So it's going to be interesting to see. All right, let's go back to the Western women for a second. So news came out last night. Ryan at 406mtsports.com, Ryan Kuhn had it that he confirms that Shannon Worcester, the starting point guard who led the team in points for the Bulldogs and assists, left the team this week. I'm not sure why. Nobody's talking. And she has checked her social media. There's nothing there. It's interesting to see. Why is Shannon Worcester, the senior starting point guard, no longer with the team? With 1 week to go in the regular season, the defending national champs, who were picked last, by the way, by coaches, and didn't even start the year in the top 25, the defending national champs have a chance to win the outright conference title, or at least a share of it. But their starting point guard left, and there's nobody talking. We're all trying to figure out why. If anybody knows, email me, tweet me, Facebook, whatever. Let us know. Shannon Worcester's not with the Bulldogs of Western anymore. You got 1 week to go in the regular season. You got a week and a half of the playoffs in the Frontier. And then you've got the national tournament. What happened? Nobody knows. So we're trying to dig on that and find out. So if you know, you can email me, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. You can tweet direct message if you want to stay anonymous, but that's fine. But if you know why, let me know. We're all trying to figure this out. Like I said, there's other coaches in the league that are trying to figure this out. And nobody at Western's talking. But it's a very interesting to me. And a lot of other people, honestly. You can, as always, if you missed anything, go to jasonwalkershow.com. By the way, not only was Worcester leading the Bulldogs in points, 9.8, assists, 4.1, and block shots. The starting point guard was leading the team in block shots. Now, she only had 8, but the defending national champs without Shannon Worcester. Anyway, jasonwalkershow.com has all the past shows that we've done since December, and you can go there and check them out if you want. If you missed anything, any of our past interviews and all that fun stuff. Happy birthday today to a good friend of the show, Shelby Rasmussen. Flint Rasmussen's oldest daughter turned 21 today. Sweetheart, and with member of that MSU rodeo team that is so good. And Shelby's going to be on the show this spring and summer, but she's a great friend of the show, as is the Rasmussen family. But Shelby, happy birthday today. I always thought my son, Bob, who turns 20 on Sunday, missed out. He should have gotten into rodeo. And him and Shelby would have I would have loved to have been related to that family. But, oh well. Shelby's got she's a sweetheart. It's a great family. I just love the Rasmussens. Not that I don't love my kid. I do. And he's doing great down in Kansas in the Army, U.S. Army. He's a crew chief on a Black Hawk. How cool is that? And it's his birthday on Sunday. He was almost a leap year baby. He was born on March 1st, 2000, and he was almost a leap year baby. If he had been born one day earlier, it would have been February 29th. So he would have only been, 5 this year instead of 20. And how do you do that? If you're a leap year baby, how do you celebrate? Do you like every 4 years you have a birthday? But what do you do the other 3 years? Do you celebrate the 28th or on the 1st of March? How do you celebrate? If you're a leap year baby, when's your birthday? Because there's only one February 29th every 4 years. There's one tomorrow. But how I've always wondered this. And I don't know how I would have celebrated Bob's birthday had he been born on February 29th. Because if you're only 5, right? You've only had 5 birthdays. If he turns 20, but he would have been 5. So you're not allowed to vote. You can't drive a car. Can you imagine that if you're 16, but really you're 4, so you can't get your driver's license? That's the way we should do it, right? But how do you celebrate it? Do you celebrate a leap year on the 28th of February or March 1st? I want to know. Hey, I am so happy. Hello, Blaze. Mr. Burnham tuning in on the Facebook. Haven't talked to you in a while. Love the Burnham family. Talk about great families with the Rasmussens. How about the Burnham family out in Spangle, Washington? Of course, we got a chance to watch Match and Chase play for a long time at Carroll College. And, hey, Blaze. Mr. Burnham. Great guy. Great family. Love the Burnhams. Hope to see him soon. Maybe in the summer. I'll be out in Spokane, Blaze, the end of July for Big Sky Media Days. So like the 26th and 27th or something of July. But I'll be in touch with you before that. Oh, man. So Shan Furch is coming up today. He'll join us at 4:40 or so. And looking forward to talking with him. He was my idol growing up. I loved watching Shan Furch, both at Livingston and then at Montana State. And I got a couple of great stories. One I'll share now because it's not as an emotional story. But when I was, Shan was still playing at Park High, and it was a tournament. And I was with my dad and got the program. And I still have the program somewhere because my wife says I'm a hoarder, but I'm a collector. Instead of a hoarder, I'm a collector. But I circled Shan's picture and said I'm going to be just like him. And I was like 9 or 10, I think. Maybe 11. But I grew my hair like Shan. It was awesome. It was not a mullet, by the way. It was a styled perm for me. I don't know. Shan was just probably natural. He had great hair. We're going to talk to Shan. That Furch family, you talk about other great families. Holy cow. Shan, and then older brother Crowell, who could leap out of any gym. And then mom and dad, Mr. Furch, unbelievable coach, great guy, and love the Furch family as well. Yeah, this is what's cool about doing this job is you get to know a lot of great families. And or being in Montana, you get to just know a lot of great families, and the Furches, the Rasmussens, the Burnhams. So I definitely will get a hold of you, Mr. Burnham, when I get out there and before I come out in July. So looking forward to seeing the family. All right, let's take a break because when we come back, John Taffer will join us, the host of Bar Rescue, which debuts its 7th season on Paramount Network Sunday night. And John Taffer will join us when we return to preview that season next here on The Jason Walker Show.
More of The Jason Walker Show coming up.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Jason Walker Show back, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Still got Shan Furch to talk to here in about 20 minutes. My idol growing up. Basketball court. Great hair. Can't wait to talk to him about his hair. He is a very distinguished author now in the and lives out in the Spokane area. So looking forward to chatting with Shan coming up. Coming up in just a couple of moments, we will talk to the host of Bar Rescue. John Taffer will join us very shortly. And the new season of Bar Rescue coming out on Sunday. So we'll have a conversation with John Taffer here in just a couple of minutes. Jason Walker Show is presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. And a 100th straight 5-star rating just happened for Helena Accommodations from a client. And they're happy for this. Dorme Bene Sleep Well has been the slogan for the extended stay environment. It's really created terrific referral and repeat business. And what it's caused really is almost always Helena Accommodations is about to be sold out. They've had to turn down clients and even repeat clients and refer them to others. So they're looking to expand and they want your help. Now, if you're a real estate owner and you have single family, duplex, fourplex, it might be time to discuss joining Helena Accommodations as an affiliate extended stay provider. Give James Yount a call, 422-6702. Have a discussion about this. business opportunity with Helen Accommodations. 422-6702. Dorme bene. Sleep well. Visit helenaaccommodations.com. All right, so we got Shan Furch coming up shortly, and cannot wait for that conversation. Also, we're going to check in on Montana State Hockey. They are at the ACHA Division II West Regional down at Boise, and they were leading 1-0 over Northern Arizona in the second. I'm going to check on the score, and we'll hopefully have a final here before we get off the air. So the new season of Bar Rescue comes out Sunday on Paramount Network, also the home of Yellowstone, which is a great show in the summer. Season 3 coming up this summer with Kevin Costner. Anyway, Bar Rescue is starting its 7th season, which seems like a short time to me. It feels like it's been around longer. We'll talk to John Taffer about that here in a second, but the new season includes Marshawn Lynch, and here is a preview of the episode with Marshawn Lynch on Bar Rescue, courtesy of Paramount Network.
You know the half, big dog.
I'll get 1 Skittles.
Yeah.
And she'll have the sidecar.
I gotta tell you, it's a nice looking bar. So I like the colors, I think the black and red is pretty cool.
Hey, can I order something?
Look at he's drinking behind the bar. Is that cool?
I'm from 2-3. They call me Big 2-3.
I mean, his freestyle was just weak. Not only that, he done put them dirty ass butt cheeks all on the bar.
Everybody's got to hold up their own. Everybody's got to freaking deliver. As a team, we lose.
Hey, you might have been an all right coach in the league. You got me ready to go and bust some heads right now.
I want to go, and let's go in and talk to them.
So how many times do you walk by this and not pick up anything?
You wait till they finish
I don't
eating.
understand it. What do you do here?
So I'm the only person in here. I'm not a server. I'm a bartender.
You know, the more you talk, the more of an idiot you sound like. You walk by it and didn't do
you
it.
walk by and see
End
it.
of story.
Out here.
Check me out though, cuz. The whole point of all the shit why he telling you what he telling you is, that's coming out of my pocket.
Bar Rescue. New season premieres Sunday, March 1st at 10 on Paramount Network.
Looking forward to that new season, and here now to chat about the upcoming season is the host of Bar Rescue. His name is John Taffer, and he joins us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, and we welcome him in. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason. How are you?
I am great. Hey, thanks for joining us. Looking forward to the new season here, Mr. Taffer. You're big on TV, so I got to call you big, Mr. Taffer too, because you intimidate me now, even though I know you're okay.
Oh, I'm a sweetheart, buddy.
Most of the
You
time.
shouldn't be scared of me.
Yeah, exactly. My dad and I ran a small sports bar in Montana for a few years, and always wondered what it would be like to have you show up. And then I watched more and more, and I'm like, no, this can't happen. So, congratulations on your success, though. It seems like Bar Rescue, it's been around longer than 6 years as you enter year 7 now.
Well, it's season 7. It's actually our 9th year on television. We premiered in July 2011. So it's season 7. I don't know how they count, to tell you the truth. It's season 7. We've been on TV 9 years. I'm doing my 194th episode right now.
Wow.
So when you think about 194 episodes, that doesn't equate to 7 seasons. 9 years doesn't equate to 7 seasons. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I'm just glad I'm still on television.
Well, yes, a lot of people are. John Taffer joining us here, Jason Walker Show. All right, so I got to know real quick, what was your favorite rescue you've done, or have you done one yet?
Well, there's a couple that mean a lot to me. That Spirits on Bourbon is one that means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
2 partners, they're really struggling. I did that rescue about 6 years ago. Their sales are up $2 million a year for the past 6 years. So we made them about $12 million, which feels really good. There's another one called Moon Runners, which was a family-run bar, and a brother and a sister and a mother and a father all ready to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
We straightened out the family situations, put them in a new business. They're entering a franchise now. They're about to franchise. So there was a newspaper article a few weeks ago that rated the success factor of all the transition shows on television, and I won't mention the name of the other shows, but the 2 other food and beverage transition shows, one runs about 21% success, the other runs 28% success. Bar Rescue runs about 71% success, so that's out of the newspaper. So I'm very proud of that number.
Yeah, you definitely should be. I didn't realize this, as John Taffer joining us. You created the NFL Sunday Ticket. I mean, it makes sense when you think about sports bars, but I didn't realize you were one of the driving forces behind that.
I was owned a sports bar at the time. This is 95. And I won Sports Bar Operator of the Year, and there was a company named Comstat that was playing around with out-of-market sports programming, they called it back then. And they retained my company to do all the market research and put together all the economic modeling and the programming and everything for then what was called out-of-market programming.
Mm-hmm.
We put all the business plans and everything together, and Comstat brought it to the NFL, and the rest is history.
No, it's awesome. I mean, what you've done for so many different bars and relationships too. I mean, Marriage Rescue on Paramount. This is you're a busy guy. Do you ever take time off?
Not really. I love what I do, and I spend a lot of time doing charitable work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, I love my work. I mean, think about it. I get to help people every day. How cool is that?
Very awesome. Very awesome. John Taffer joining us. All right. Have you been to Montana? Have you done a Montana bar rescue yet? And do we have one in the future?
I have been to Montana. I've actually, prior to being on TV, I rescued a few bars in Billings.
Okay.
And I always remembered how Billings had the gaming in them and had the slot machines, et cetera, and it was a little unique up there in liquor laws and such at the time. But I have not done one yet for bar rescue. But I must tell you, we're working on coming up to your region now, so I'm guessing we'll do one soon.
Well, that would be very, very awesome. Is my dad's bar? It didn't make it after about 5 years, but it was a small town. What can we expect on this season of Bar Rescue?
Well, first of all, crazy show. We've been on TV for so long, thousands of bars now of supply applications to be on the show, so we really pick great stories. But our first episode has T-Pain doing recon for me, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Marshawn Lynch does an episode, and it's an amazing story. He opened the bar in Oakland, California, his hometown. He named it after a friend of his who was shot when he was a teenager. And then he staffed it all with ex-cons and people needing a second chance.
Wow.
It's an amazing story. What a community guy. But the bar was failing. And obviously people who are ex-cons and second chancers, they tend not to respect authority so much. So Marshawn was having problems, and this was so well motivated to support his community. So we go in, we rescue his bar. It's one of my favorite episodes ever. Sometimes in Bar Rescue, I teach them about bars, and they teach me about life.
Wow.
And the Marshawn Lynch episode was that. But this is an intense season. It's my favorite ever.
I'm looking forward to watching it, definitely, as it debuts Sunday on the Paramount Network. How close have you been to laying somebody out when they smart off to you?
I'm not close to laying them out because as emotional as it seems, it's work to me. I'm screaming and yelling because I'm trying to change them. I'm being purposeful. I think they're the ones that come a lot closer to hitting me than me hitting them. It's come close. We've had a little shoving every once in a while, but I'm there to help them, and I think they trust my motivation.
I think so,
and
too.
That's why they tolerate the aggressiveness. They know I mean well in the end. And I get my hug in the end, typically.
You do, yeah, you usually do. I love watching the episodes, and you go back to so many are just so good, and I'm looking forward to the season. I saw the clip with Marshawn Lynch, and you could tell that one's going to be an emotional one. I want to go back to that one for a second because it just looks like from the minute and a half clip that there's a lot of emotion that's going to be involved in that episode.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, because the bar means so much to him, it's named after his friend. He bought the bar. It was an existing bar in the town that he and his friend used to go to. It was going to close. He didn't want it to close. He's very community-oriented. So he kept this bar open because it was part of the community. He hired people that needed an extra chance, a second chance in life to work there. He did everything so beautifully and community-minded and supporting his community. And then he got screwed. He's losing money. So going in and fixing his bar was very personal, very emotional to him, the employees, and me.
John Taffer, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. I got about a minute left here with you or so, but appreciate you joining us. And, you got books, you've got, all sorts of stuff. And I need to go get the mixologist book because I want to learn how to make some great drinks.
There's great drinks. And then my mixology line at Walmart now, we have 7 flavors. Bloody Mary Pina Colada and 5 other flavors. It's now available in all Walmarts across the country. And Taffer's Craft Carbonated Cocktails, my seltzer, just hit Walmarts in 5 states across the country, and that's going national soon too. So we've been very busy.
The seltzer thing is really taking off, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be a $2 billion business this year. It's going to grow about 800%. It's big business.
Well,
it's a great alternative to beer. It's a little lighter, a little refreshing. Beer as a category is down, and a lot of it is people moving over to seltzers. They find them very light and refreshing, and there's a lot of brands out there now, and they're fun.
I look forward to, I've never done the seltzer, but I will definitely try one. John Taffer, the new season of Bar Rescue debuts Sunday night, 10 Eastern. That's 8 Mountain Time on Paramount Network. Appreciate the time, and hopefully you get to Montana soon, my man.
Great. Look forward to it. Take care, buddy.
That was a fun conversation with John Taffer joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, as do all of our guests appear on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And Bar Rescue, there's been some great episodes. And you think about, the fact that he's never been hit, at least on the TV side of things, by, because he goes in screaming and yelling. I thought about Bar Rescue when my dad's bar was still open. I thought, no, there's no way that my dad and John Taffer would get along. No way. So we never reached out. Not that he would have came, but fun time. Appreciate John Taffer joining us here on the Jason Walker Show. Speaking of seltzer, you can get seltzer while you golf at Green Meadow Country Club. And there's a lot of guys that are golfing that are starting to move over to that seltzer side, like John Taffer was just talking about. It's one of the great things about Green Meadow Country Club. You got the fake greens up right now because of winter, but you can go out today, you can go out tomorrow, you can go out anytime right now, walk the course and get a little golfing in because it's been so nice. And you don't need a reservation, nor even in the summer when it's golfing weather, you don't need a reservation. Green Meadow Country Club is a proud sponsor of the Jason Walker Show, and you need to sign up and become a member. Go talk to Todd and tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show because they want you. And I want to golf with you this summer. I want to hang out with your family. And what's great is, you and I can go golf and the families can go swimming. Or we can go swimming and hang out with our families. It's a great family atmosphere at Green Meadow Country Club. That's why my wife and I love it. And we get to go out there. We had a great dinner last week. And played in the cribbage tournament as well. We're in the Golf Simulator League in the winter, and it's just fantastic. It's Green Meadow Country Club is a place for families. You need to become a member. Go check it out and get signed up at Green Meadow Country Club and tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show. Still to come, Shan Furch will join us, the newest member of the Bobcat Hall of Fame. Great basketball player. Only played a couple of years at Montana State. And I'm going to tell him a story that when he transferred to Pepperdine broke my heart as a 10 or 11-year-old. Maybe a little bit older than that. No, I was about that age. You can hear dogs, by the way, downstairs. That is fun stuff. Because we get to do this in home, in our Major Mortgage Man Cave. And so there you go. So Shan Furch will join us coming up. And before we forget, the new Manscaped 3.0 is out. And I want you to check this out, okay? Guys, it's time to get trimmed up. Valentine's Day is past. Summer's coming. You got to have, you got to look good, okay? Everywhere. Now, we've talked about the 2.0 for a while here on Manscaped, about Manscaped on the Jason Walker Show. They have the new and improved skin-safe technology. Not only in the 2.0, it's even more improved for the 3.0. The Lawnmower 3.0 is out. It is premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes longer, or 90 minutes so you can take a longer shave. You got an LED light. Do I have it with me? I think so. Hang on. No, I'll have to get it out Monday. But it's got an LED light. So trimming and grooming, more precise. Also, the upgraded 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. Get 20% off from free shipping. Use the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com, and your balls are going to thank you. Trust me. Get 20% off free shipping. Use the code WALKER20, manscaped.com. 20% off free shipping. WALKER20, WALKER20 at manscaped.com. Coming right back, Shan Furch joins us next here on The Jason Walker Show. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Ruckers Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Ruckers, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Ruckers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918. Or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Oh, it's a finally Friday edition of the Jason Walker Show. Final 20 minutes coming up. Tweet us, Facebook us, email us. Why did Shannon Worcester leave the Western squad? If you know, let me know. I want to know why a senior quit with 1 week to go in the regular season for the defending national champs. We'll talk about that here more in the walk-off. But I want to get straight to our next guest because he is the man. And I have been looking forward to this conversation for about a week now. His name is Shan Furch. He is the newest member, one of them, of the Bobcat Hall of Fame, as he went in with the basketball teams from 85 to 87. Shan, how are you?
Doing great, Jason. Thank you.
Shan joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline here. And let's go back to your playing days because, and I don't know if I've ever told you this before. I may have when I spoke to you a few years ago when you came out when Carson Cunningham was the coach and you spoke at Carroll. Yeah. But you were one of my idols, both at Livingston and then at Montana State. I grew my hair like you.
Yes, it's not too late for us to go back to
that. Can we grow our hair like that anymore?
Mine might be receded on the top, but I can still go long in the back.
Nice. I like that. Will the wife allow it though? That's the question. Mine won't.
No, I think mine will reject it. I agree.
Shan Furch, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, go back to last weekend real quick. How cool was that? Because you get to see some old teammates. Your parents are there. Your brother's there. I mean, this is a fantastic 2 years of basketball that you got to relive in a weekend last week at Montana State.
So good to see everybody again. You know, Carl and I are real close, so we see each other all the time. But just the guys that had built a team that I think people love to watch, that was full of three-point shooting and defense and dunks and just high-flying action, you know. So it was good to see all the guys, and everybody's doing very well. So that, too, was a blessing.
I told this story last week because Tony Hampton was on those teams along with Ray Willis. But we went and had pregame dinner. I got to go with the team as I won the Easter Seals contest and raised the most money one year, free throw shooting. And I got to go, I think it was was it the Long Branch Steakhouse or something like that? Is that what it was?
Great. That sounds right.
Yeah. And I spilled Tony Hampton's lemonade all over his food, and he had to go back and get more. And I felt so bad. I was so embarrassed.
Awesome.
But he didn't care.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he was a great guy. How much, I mean, obviously with Corral you stay in touch, but how much of the other guys like Ray and Tony and those guys do you keep in touch with?
Somewhat over the years, generally through Facebook. I would say Clayman Jacobs has been a lot of the glue, and then that sort of gets everybody a little bit of touch with each other's lives.
You have become quite successful as an author, and out there in Gonzaga. What's the difference, or what the biggest thing when you're sitting there writing books as opposed to studying plays?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a great basketball player, I mean, it's interesting. I've been talking to a number of friends about it recently, but the measure of a great three-point shooter has gone down. You know, if you shoot, somewhere above 37 to 41 is even considered good now,
Yeah.
But if you want to be, 45, 46%, like a few of us were, and then when I played in Germany, I had the, grace of being at 52% from the three-point line. Wow. That's more, 10,000 hours of practice, that kind of thing. And to be I guess the kind of writer you would hope to be is also like 10,000 hours. Just the hours are put in a chair, You have to sit down and make sure you get the work accomplished, get a lot of mentoring, but you have to put in the hours. Reading and practicing, and then it comes together kind of like three-point shooting, or kind of like understanding how to be a point guard. You have to put in a lot of time and get a lot of good mentoring and overcome your own fault sets so that those can turn into strength.
How many books do you have now?
I think it's around 11 total. 7 of them would be just written by me, and then the other 4 are sort of teamwork type books where in the academic world you can do these books that are called anthologies, basically, where you get a bunch of people that are quality writers on a given topic, like forgiveness and genocide, one of the topics that I cover a lot. And they each build a chapter, and then me and a couple friends just put the book together. So yeah, there's 7 that are just on my own, and then I think there's about 4 that are anthologies.
I'm lucky if I write my show out every day, let alone an entire book. So, Shan Furch, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. How is Spokane? You loving it out there? You've been there a while.
I've enjoyed it a lot. It never replaces the home of soul, which is Montana, but it is gorgeous. I think the 70 lakes in a 50-mile radius, foothills of the Rockies, that's exquisite. But I get back to Montana all the time too.
Well, yeah, it's a short drive, and get to see the family and whatnot. But how cool was it last week? Go back to the Hall of Fame induction to see not only your former teammates, but guys that were in the administration there and former coaches that came back for this too. That that you might not have seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, most everybody I hadn't seen since I was at Montana State. So it was great just to make the connection. Get a lot of time together. I was pleasantly surprised that basically the players just kept saying, well, let's get together for, okay, we're here for this dinner. Now let's get together for breakfast. Now let's get together for lunch. Now let's get together for dinner. So we got a lot of hours together just to talk about each other's families and what's going on in people's lives, what their dreams are, what their dreams for their children are. Just a lot of quality guys, looking back, and to see who they are now, I would say most, not, I mean, we all through our lives have had some amount of struggle, but there's just a lot of good feeling and men that have a lot of, I would say, love and honor for their wife if they're married or for their children if they've got children. And so all of that was beyond what I imagined. I thought it might be just to get together for dinner and, go out afterwards, but we mainly just wanted to be with each other the whole time because of those friendships.
Shan Furch, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. And I told my listeners the story about idolizing you, and I'd circled, I was in 4th or 5th grade. You were playing at Livingston in a tournament, and I'd circled your picture like, I'm going to be just like him. I didn't get to that point. But here's the story that I was saving for you. I remember being at Bobcat basketball camp, and I was staying at, was Roski? Is that the round ones, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm staying in Roski, and I remember getting in the elevator, and Coach Stu Starner was there, and he called me Spud, and he goes, I got some bad news. Shan's leaving. He's transferring to Pepperdine, and I lost it. I cried so hard.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Because you were leaving. You were my favorite player.
Yeah, definitely didn't want to leave. Stu and I didn't see eye to eye. And, that was something that I would say in my own youth at that time, I wasn't as mature as I would have liked to have been. There's things that would be good, that have been good in my life to ask forgiveness for and change, But yeah, I felt necessary at the time. And looking back, would have loved to stay, but it just wasn't a situation where it could work out,
The only thing I didn't do was wear number 15. My favorite number was number 10. So that's the only thing I didn't follow. Got a picture up right now. It's from your playing days, and man, that hair was prime.
Oh, the hair was moving. But I mean, what about the high flying scenario of all of our dunkers?
I know.
How fun was that to watch?
Oh man,
so we had a team that was super fun to watch.
It definitely was. I got another picture up of you and Crowell. And you look like you're about 9 or 10, but it's those uniforms, the short shorts. I mean, the 80s were different than they are now.
Yeah, think about it. 10 years ago, when we saw short shorts, we're like, oh, that's gross. And now we're like, oh, those look good.
I don't know if they ever look good, Shan.
Haven't you seen the guys that right now, they're all rolling their shorts up?
I know.
Short shorts.
They're all coming. It's all coming back.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if they get to the mullet, then I might have to not watch games anymore because I can't see mullet.
All right, so I got to ask you this. My wife says it was a mullet, but I said mine was a styled perm. Was yours a true mullet, or did you perm it?
Oh, mine was. Let me think here. Did I perm it? I think it was. I might have stooped to that level once. But normally, I think it was just the Livingston wave.
Oh, I like that. The wind-blown Livingston wave.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that from now on.
You got to shave it, practically shave it down on the side.
Yep. So. Yep. My dad wouldn't let me have the lines. People would put in the 3 lines on the sides. He wouldn't let me do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that. I think I had 7 on one side, 3 on the other. And then, how about this? Add some blue hair paint to those lines.
Whoa, man.
And go Bobcats, baby.
Exactly. Shan Furch, our guest here. A few final questions. But you look at the picture of you and Crowell, and you mentioned the dunking. Does that dunk over Walter Berry, is that the best dunk that Crowell ever put up?
No, it was not the best. I'm glad you asked this question. And so I just have to clarify, it's even better, actually, because Walter Berry didn't have actually a very good vertical. And it was on Shelton Jones. And Shelton Jones was 6'7" and had a great vertical. And he won the NBA dunk contest the following year.
Oh, okay.
So it gets into basketball lore as Walter Berry, but it was actually Shelton Jones.
Oh, okay.
So it was a major shocker because everybody knew Shelton Jones was an incredible leaper, but he was way down underneath Crowell once Crowell jumped. So, so there you go. But the best dunk was against Pacific. And I was a senior in high school, so I was watching in the crowd. And Crowell's sprinting the wing on the left, and gets a nice diagonal pass from the backcourt to the front court as he's coming across the hash mark. And, no dribble, just full speed, just 2 steps from way out there, 6'9" guy taking a charge, 6'8" guy jumping up, trying to get it, little guard doing nothing, trying to get in there from below somewhere. And so they had somebody took a picture that was in the Montana State Annual the next year from the sideline. So you're looking at Crowell from behind, right down the baseline. And so he's got the ball. He always cupped it kind of in a tomahawk form on the left hand, And so it's up there like cupped in a tomahawk. His legs are spread out up in his 45-inch vertical, and the whole 6'9" guy is visible in the triangle of those legs, way up there. And so he hammers it down, and then all the momentum's going towards the baseline. So then it's obvious you see him, really hit his head hard on the backboard.
Oh yeah, that's
Hair,
right.
Hair's all ruffled up and kind of gets hung up there a little bit, but he's fine. He kind of gets hung up there because of the angle, and then drops to the ground and kind of pats his hair down and goes to the line and makes his free throw. And afterwards, I'm in the locker room, and he just got out of the shower. He's got a towel around his waist, and Crowell's really humble, really quiet, like beautiful player to play with. Would rather cut off his arm than have his guy score on him. He's just the type that you need. And but he's never, not showy, not talkative. Though his dunks are showy. But in any case, I go, bro, that was the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen. And he turns around and he got a cut, like about 2 inches long, like a thin cut, a little blood coming out of it on the bottom of his shoulder blade. And he says, backboard.
Oh,
so, there you go.
Oh man, that's
That was
fantastic.
still available out there. Like it's out there on the video somewhere. If you Google Shannon Crowell dunking at the 4-minute mark, you'll see a bunch of smashes.
Yep.
that
Chris
one's
Byers put one together down in
Yes,
Billings.
that's
It was,
the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
That's a great dunk video. All right, what was your best dunk? Because you couldn't jump like Crowell.
No, he was 45-inch vertical. Dad trained us. We had a lot of dunkers at Park High, and a lot of, I think our guys won state in high jump for like 4 or 5 years straight.
Well, you guys had the boxes. You invented the boxes, right?
Well, he got that idea out of the plyometrics that the Cuban national volleyball team used.
Okay.
And then he had our assistant coach, Roy Erzman, was the shop teacher. So they built these boxes, but they were based on the plyometrics that the Cuban national volleyball team did. But yeah, I mean, a lot of good dunks over the years, I'd say. And so my vertical was about 42 inches, so it was not quite what you got, but still super fun. And so, when I was playing professionally in Germany, that's probably the favorite one. We were playing in Wolfenbüttel, of all places, and fast break, got a little steal, 2 guys coming down on either side of me. So I think they both think that they want to, sort of block the shot if I go to the left side or the right side. But since my brother was my mentor, I just decided to go down the middle with the reverse, and then you get to see them both kind of fly by you while you're doing the reverse.
Nice.
That was fun.
You were at the game last weekend, I assume. You saw the full court shot from the kid, Joe Thompson?
That was incredible. That should have been on ESPN 5 nights in a row.
Right?
The dude hit not just a full court shot, but all of those shots in 1 minute.
I know. How crazy was that?
Incredible.
Was that something you could have done?
And we were talking about it as players, and we're like, that's 1 in a million for us, for guys that know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like 1 in a million.
Because he threw it sideways like soccer goalie.
Right, but add on top of that is you've got to make the layup, the top of the key, the half court, and then that.
Yep.
Like I've literally, in non-basketball players, that's probably 1 in a billion or something.
Oh, for sure.
It was unbelievable.
What's the longest shot you ever made as a player?
That's funny because I trained a lot in deep jump shooting, really coming from time on the reservation,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that I threw long ones, but I did against Hardin and Takes Enemy have a half court shot to end a 42.8 minute quarter without the 3-point line, which Dad had these teams where we pressed a ton. And the beauty of that is the Crow Reservation fans just gave standing ovation.
Yep.
They love basketball. So even though we were on their court,
Was he the best player you played against?
Yes, I mean, Takes Enemy is so gifted and such a leader, fierce and really beautiful. And he himself actually made a half court shot against us. His was better than what I'm explaining about the shot I took because it was at the divisional tournament, and they were killing us that year. That year, they beat us. Like, I think the first night we ended up coming in the back door to go to state, but they're up like 15 or something at the end of the third quarter, and he approaches half court, shoots a straight, clean jumper. He's not shoving it or throwing it or anything like that. And you see his nice follow through on the release, and I watch him because I'm kind of trailing behind the play, and he turns around as it's in the air and walks towards his bench, and as it swishes, he gives the fist punch.
Oh man.
Without looking at it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You know who that reminds me of? You probably know this guy from Livingston, Tommy Schwagert.
Oh yeah, totally.
He could shoot the ball.
Tommy threw a lot of alley-oops to Crowell in the day. Yeah.
That is, man, I saw him play.
Nice. We played a lot together.
We was in a 3-on-3 tournament in Clyde Park, and he would cross half court and just pop it from there.
Oh yeah, he had a nice jumper, deep jumper.
So good, so good. Yeah. I could keep talking to you for like another hour and a half or 2 hours, but we're running up against the clock here. So I appreciate you joining me, Shan, and hopefully we can talk down the road, because I'd love to keep picking your brain about the memories. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
We didn't
talk tonight about. I mean, Hampton was the reason for those two teams, even though he was only there in the first year. But yeah, we could talk about that sometime.
Tony and Ray.
Defensive player of the year, beautiful 3-point shooter, amazing person, and how he never would be dunking it in games until Crowell and I were like, "What's going on, Ray? You got like a massive vertical. Just go down and smash it." and so we're thinking of this. If he ever does one, it'll just be like a plain 2-hander. But his first one was like shoulder blade smash.
Oh, jeez. Man, I can maybe touch the bottom of the net when I was in, athletic, but that was it. I didn't have the vertical.
Hey, I remember when I was a freshman in high school, 5'2", 95 pounds, and I got the first diamond in the net. I got diamond.
I don't know if I've even done that. Man, but there's so much to talk about. Like, we could just keep going, because we didn't even talk about Father Mark at Carroll College. We didn't talk about the Burnham family. I mean,
hey, Father Mark, the lefty priest that swishes it from deep.
Is he? How good of a shooter is Father Mark?
He's what I would call the type of player, again, like Crowell, that you totally love to have on your team. He makes very few mistakes. He's a very nice shooter. He's not going to shoot a ton of shots, even though he probably should shoot more because he's got a really nice percentage. But slasher, and I just love to tease him. Like, get out there in your cassock and break somebody down, man.
Oh, I love Father Mark. He is so great. The connection to this world is so small when you think about, Blaze and Match Burnham and Maisie. She's going to play at Eastern. That's such a
Beautiful
great family.
players.
Beautiful. Yeah,
Match
absolutely.
And Match Burnham, 19 for 19 from the line on the game. He had 40 as a freshman.
As a freshman in college, yeah.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. I called that game. It was so much fun. It was at Rocky.
Beautiful.
They couldn't stop it.
And my dad's alma mater. He did it on my dad's alma mater. So.
Oh, your dad went to Rocky? I didn't know your dad went to Rocky.
Yeah, I just played with Match this morning, and I'll have to remind him, like, stop being rude to my dad's alma mater.
Oh, that's great. They're struggling. They've lost like 15 straight in conference play.
Rocky has?
Yeah, it's not been a good year.
That's because they don't have Tommy Crash Birch anymore or Jonathan Pickton.
Well, hey, they made the national tournament last year. They were good last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
No,
yeah.
Coach Drykosen's a great dude, and they're still the only one to win a national title on the men's side.
Oh, beautiful!
In the Frontier.
Beautiful.
So, hey man, I appreciate it.
A ton of good teams over the years.
Oh, there's been some great ones.
Played with a lot of the Rocky guys. Over Big Sky Games and other places. Always good play.
Between Rocky and the Frontier is just loaded with great players.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Hopefully,
right.
I'm going to be out there in Spokane in July for Big Sky Football Days, and have to get with the Burnhams and get with you and have some dinner and stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll get a hold of each other.
We can go try to touch the net together.
You can still do it though. There's no way. I don't think I can. I'll have to start doing I'll have to get the blocks out and start jumping again.
If Match gives me a leg up, like how I have to get on my grandpa's horses, I can get the net.
All right, here's the deal. You take Match, I'll take Blaze. We'll play a little 2-on-2.
That will be tough on you and Blaze because Match, remember, was runner-up for Player of the Year, so I'm just going to beat him all day long.
I know. Or I could take Maisie. She could just shoot lights out.
That's right. That's true. We might lose then.
And she would know how to guard Match.
Exactly. I'm sure she can get under his skin and just get him in a tough spot.
Definitely. All right, man.
Talk
to you down the road. Continued success, and you're a blessed guy, and I appreciate everything, my man.
You too, Jason. Take care.
Thanks. That is Shan Furch joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Yeah, we're obviously going a little bit overboard, or over length, but how fun was that? Talking to Shan, he was seriously so much fun, and loved watching him play. And man, what a great dude. All right, let's do Montana State hockey, by the way, 6-0 win over Northern Arizona today. So MSU a win tomorrow, and they get to go back to nationals. And I don't know who they play. I think they will play. Well, they play whoever won the other game. So there you go. They won 6-0 over NAU, and I know they're going to play. Is it Boise? I'll check real quick here. Let's see here. Who won that other game? The West Region, not over. Okay, you got Utah State and Oregon are playing. You can go online and find it. We'll tweet it out later. Jason Walker Show, as always, is brought to you by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Went a little long with Shan Furch, but how can you not? The stories were great. All right, on this day in history, brought to you by the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. Sports betting is starting soon, and we'll have all the details for you because you can go to the Motherlode and be able to bet on sports. On this date, 1940, first televised basketball game. Pittsburgh beat Fordham 50-37. 1960, the U.S. won its first Olympic ice hockey gold medal at Squaw Valley, 9-4 win over Czechoslovakia. 1988, Winter Olympic closed 15th Olympics at Calgary. 1991, Don Mattingly was named the 10th New York Yankee captain. 2010, Olympic Games closed in Vancouver. Some birthdays today. Hayden Fry, the old Iowa coach, Hall of Fame coach, born on this date, 1929, passed away last year. Mario Andretti is 60, born on this date, 1940. And let's see, 1972, former University of Montana offensive tackle Scott Gregg was born on this date, 1972, in Silverton, Oregon. Played with the Giants, the Jets, and had a very nice NFL career. Bugsy Siegel's birthday, or he died on this date. No, it's his birthday today. Paul Harvey was born on this date as well. Or did he die on this date? He died on this date in 2009. And, here you go. The final episode of MASH, the TV show, aired on this date in 1983. 125 million in the U.S. tuned in to watch that one. How about that? Final episode on this date in history of MASH. Oh, man, we had such a great show today. Ran over a little bit, but hey, you know what? It's fun. Why not? You're still listening. I hope, anyway, because I am. Let's get to this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
All right, we learned that the Frontier Conference is coming down to the wire, both tonight and tomorrow. Senior night at Carroll tonight for the men and the women. The regular season wraps up across the Frontier tomorrow night, and then the playoffs start on Tuesday. I think the men first, and then the women on Wednesday in the quarters. We also had a great conversation with Shan Furch on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, just sharing memories of Bobcat basketball and his high school days at Park High. And just talking in general. What a great guy, Shan Furch. Oh, I should probably say he's not on the phone anymore. There you go. Take that off. And then also, John Taffer joined us. Bar Rescue coming back Sunday night. It premieres Season 7 on Paramount Network. 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Or 8 Mountain, 10 Eastern. Big week coming up next week. We'll talk divisional winners. We will we'll just have fun. AA regular season wraps up this weekend, tomorrow night as well. Hope you have a great one. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend here with the Jason Walker Show. We'll see you later.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.